Blacksmith Wukong is a remarkable game, and throughout Chapter 1 you'll face many enemies that are surprisingly difficult, but deep in the forest there's a secret boss waiting for you, Elder Jinchi. Not only is he really fun to fight with unique mechanics, but he's also guarding an item that will make the final boss in Chapter 1 so much easier. So, no faffing around, let's find this guy. There are 3 bosses that will lead you to the secret boss in Chapter 1, the first of which is Guangchi. You're probably familiar with him as he gives you your first transformation. Beating him is pretty straightforward, just watch out for his flurry attacks and keep a distance. Oh, and make good use of the immobilization spell. After defeating Guangchi, head over to the bell and ring it. Nothing will happen yet, it's when you ring all 3 bells that the fun begins. Continue through the main story, and eventually you'll arrive at a clearing with this lovely fella, Guangmou. He can be a pain to take down early in the game because of his teleportation and little snake buddies. He's not hard, just kind of annoying. A fun trick with him is to utilize Guangxi's transformation and heavy attack, dashing forward and striking Guangmou regardless of where he teleports. Then throw in a few heavy attacks and be super aggressive during this fight, and you will have this one in the bag. After taking him down, head up the stairs and you'll find the second bell waiting for you. Ring it like a Motorola, and let's move on. To reach the last bell, you're going to have to take down the Whiteclad noble, and this guy has a few tricks up his sleeve that made him the bane of my existence for a couple of hours. For his first form, you're going to want to avoid using any transformations and spells, just stick to normal attacks and heavy attacks. If you're really struggling, throw in an immobilize here and there, but you want to save it for his second form. Yes, this guy has a second form. I didn't know that either, that came as a shock. Use the transformation you saved right at the beginning of the fight. A flurry of heavy attacks will get him to around about 50% health, and then you can throw in an immobilize and a few max focus heavies to finish him off. Once the fight is finished, don't take the path that leads you to the Black Wind King through this weird little arch. Instead, head to this little cave ravine thing, and it will take you to your third and final bell. Take out the puny enemies guarding it, and then ring the bell, unlocking the ancient Guanyin Temple's Grand Chamber. There are a few items to grab here, so go full Legend of Zelda, breaking all the pots and such like, and then head through the gates and prepare for Wukong's first secret boss area. As the cutscene plays out, you'll learn a bunch of lore about Wukong. It's really interesting and definitely something that comes together nicely once you finish Chapter 1. The fight, however, will either be super easy or super hard depending on if you took the time to fight the Wandering White early on in the game. This Thanos-looking mother trucker is a interesting character with very interesting movesets, and he is essentially the tree sentinel of Blacksmith Wukong. He's completely optional, you can run straight past him, but I recommend actually taking him down early on so that you can get his spirit, which is one of the best in the game, and it'll teach you a lot about Elder Jinchi's moveset that you're going to want to know for this fight. You see, Elder Jinchi's got a very similar moveset, but tends to be a little bit more aggressive, using things like this Kamehameha attack with barely any notice. You will notice though that he likes to use his undead minions as a way of charging up, as he has a few unique abilities. For the Kamehameha attack, all you have to do is dodge left or right at the right time, and that won't be an issue. For the chasing attack, all you have to do is sprint in a circle. This one is also super easy, but then there's the healing one, and it can be super annoying if you get him low on health and then all of a sudden he recovers. So all you're going to want to do when you see Elder Jinchi start floating, all of the undead enemies are going to start walking towards him. It's only when they get close enough they'll actually start the healing process. So all you have to do is just keep them away, and you actually get healed in the process, which makes life so much easier. Then for the rest of the fight, just focus on memorizing Jinchi's attacks, getting as many hits in as possible, and if you ask me, I'd actually say he's easier than the Wandering White, but it's all subjective, I suppose. The most important thing, as with any boss in Blacksmith Wukong, is really to understand their mechanics, knowing when to run and when to fight. After you finally defeat Elder Jinchi, you'll get another cutscene, some lore, and then you'll be able to examine this chap hanging out outside of the final bell area, and you'll get the fireproof mantle, which is an essential piece of kit for not only the next fight against the Black Wind King, but also the final boss of Chapter 1, who is waiting for you right around the corner. We'll talk more about all of those in a future video, as well as the second boss hidden in Chapter 1. Yes, there is another one out there, and this one is beautiful, but also kind of easy to beat. I'll have that video out within the next week. Subscribe to stay up to date with all future Wukong videos, and let me know if you have any other questions about the game. I'll be lurking in the comments. I love your faces, you're amazing and beautiful, and I will catch you in the next one.